Oh fuck, oh fuck. My hands were sweating as I stared at my wife's phone. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I wasn't supposed to see this. I wasn't even checking her phone, just picking it up to put it on the table, because she had fallen asleep on the couch. But the screen lit up, and out of reflex, I swiped up. And now, what the fuck am I looking at? The browser was open. Her search history was right there. I wasn't even looking for anything, but my eyes caught a few words. My brain processed them too fast for me to ignore. How long does it take for a body to decompose in water? What? I blinked, thinking maybe I read that wrong. My thumb hovered over the screen. I scrolled up. Can police track deleted search history? Okay. No. No. This had to be some kind of joke. My breath felt stuck in my throat. My fingers moved on their own, scrolling through. More. Poison that looks like a heart attack. Oh, fuck. I looked at her. She was sleeping, curled up with her blanket, her face soft and peaceful. Like nothing was wrong. But this was wrong. I swallowed hard, my mouth dry as sand. My head felt hot, my ears ringing. I kept reading. How to erase fingerprints from metal. Where to hide a body so it's never found. Oh my fucking god, what the fuck is this? I stared at the words until they started to blur. My whole body felt numb. This wasn't normal. This wasn't some random curiosity. These weren't, I watched a crime show and got curious searches. This was detailed, specific, step by step. Who? The fuck was she searching this for? A horrible thought crept into my head, and I immediately tried to push it away. But it was too late. Was it for me? No. No fucking way. She couldn't. I took a shaky breath and forced myself to keep going. How deep should a grave be to hide a body? What happens if someone drinks bleach? My stomach twisted. I felt like I was going to throw up. Why bleach? Why this much detail? Oh, fuck. Last week, she asked me to go on a trip with her, just the two of us, somewhere remote, away from the city. She said it would be romantic. I had agreed. Was I supposed to come back from that trip? I ran my hand through my hair, breathing hard, trying to stay calm, but my brain was screaming at me. Sleeping pills overdose. How much is fatal? How to make murder look like an accident. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped the phone. I didn't want to see the last search. I didn't, but my eyes moved to it anyway. Can you hear after you die? Oh, fuck. I slowly put the phone back down, careful, like if I made too much noise, she'd wake up and know I saw everything. I stared at her, at this woman I had loved for years, the woman I married, the woman I thought I knew. Who the fuck was sleeping next to me? And, am I safe in my own house? I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't. I lay in bed next to her, my body stiff, my mind racing. Every time I closed my eyes, those search results flashed in my head. Over and over. Poison that looks like a heart attack. Where to hide a body. So it's never found. Can you hear after you die? Fuck. I turned my head slowly. She was right there, her face soft, peaceful, breathing steady. She looked so normal. But I knew now. I knew what she had been looking up, and I had no fucking clue. Why? I had to act normal. I had to pretend I didn't see anything. Morning came and I barely moved all night. I just stared at the ceiling, listening to her breathe. When she finally got up, stretching and yawning like nothing was wrong, I forced myself to do the same. Morning, she mumbled, rubbing her eyes. Did you sleep okay? No, I fucking did not. Yeah, I said. My voice sounded weird. Off. I swallowed hard. You? She smiled, leaning against me. Like a baby. I forced a laugh. Good. I felt sick. I watched her closely all morning. The way she poured her coffee, the way she scrolled through her phone, the way she hummed to herself while making breakfast. Nothing seemed different, but that was the scariest part. I had no idea what was going on in her head. Was she planning something? Had she already done something? Had she hurt someone? I needed answers, but I couldn't just ask her outright. Not yet. So I tried something else. "Hey," I said casually, pretending to scroll through my own phone. "I saw this crazy article last night. Some woman got arrested for Googling how to get rid of a body. Can you believe that?" I glanced at her. She didn't flinch. "Oh?" she said, stirring her coffee. "People are so dumb. If you're gonna do something illegal, why would you Google it?" I froze. My stomach dropped. She laughed a little, shaking her head. "Like, at least use incognito mode." I forced a smile. "Yeah, crazy. What the fuck?" She didn't sound nervous. She didn't look guilty. She sounded like she was just talking. I felt like I was losing my mind. I needed more time to think, to process, to figure out what to do. So I kept pretending. For 2 more days, I acted normal. I smiled, I laughed, I kissed her goodnight, but I barely ate, barely slept. I kept replaying everything in my head. Then, on the 3rd night, something happened that made everything worse. I woke up at 3 a.m. I don't know why. Maybe my body was on high alert. Maybe some part of me knew something was wrong. I turned my head. She wasn't there. Oh fuck. I sat up, my heart pounding. I listened. Silence. Then, the faintest sound. A whisper. I turned toward the bathroom. The door was cracked open, the light on. I could hear her voice. I leaned in. She was whispering to herself. At first, I couldn't make out the words. Then I caught something. "He doesn't know." My breath hitched. "It has to be soon." Oh my fucking God. I felt a cold chill crawl up my spine. I sat there, frozen, afraid to move. Then, suddenly, the whispering stopped. Silence. The bathroom door creaked open. She stepped out. She saw me. She smiled. "Couldn't sleep?" she asked. I stared at her. My mouth was dry. My hands were clenched in the sheets. She was standing in the doorway, her head tilted slightly, watching me. Something about the way she looked at me. Something was wrong. "Yeah," I croaked. She didn't blink. "You should rest." I swallowed. "Yeah." She stood there for a second too long. Then she walked back to bed, crawling under the covers beside me. I forced myself to lie down. I could feel her next to me. Warm. Breathing. So fucking normal. But I knew. I fucking knew. She was planning something, and I had no idea how much time I had left. I had to do something. I couldn't just sit there pretending everything was fine, waiting for her to make her move. Fuck that. The next morning, I made a decision. I was going to ask her. Maybe not directly, but enough to see how she reacted. I had to know. She was in the kitchen, sipping coffee, scrolling through her phone, normal as ever. But now, everything about her felt fake. I sat down across from her, my hands wrapped around my mug just to keep them from shaking. "Hey," I said, trying to sound casual. She looked up, smiling. I took a slow breath. "I was on your phone the other night." Her fingers froze on the screen, just for a second, barely noticeable. My stomach twisted. "Oh?" she said, her voice light. "Why?" I forced a chuckle. "It was open. I was just picking it up and the browser was right there." She set her phone down. "And?" Oh fuck. My heart was pounding. I felt like I was stepping on a landmine. I swallowed. "I saw some of your searches." Silence. Her expression didn't change. She didn't look surprised, just blank. Then she smiled. Oh, that's it? I forced myself to keep talking. Yeah, stuff like how to make murder look like an accident. How long does it take for a body to decompose in water? I let out a nervous laugh. Pretty weird, right? She just stared at me. Then she let out a small chuckle. Oh my God, you really think I'm trying to kill someone? I blinked. She laughed again, shaking her head. Babe, come on. I was just researching for a story. A story. I didn't say anything. My head was screaming at me. Oh, don't give me that look, she said, rolling her eyes. You know I love crime stuff. I was reading a book and I got curious about some of the details. You know, for accuracy. She took a sip of her coffee like this was the most normal conversation in the world. Something about how calm she was made my skin crawl. I forced myself to nod. Yeah, I figured it was something like that. She smiled. See? You're overthinking. I tried to smile back, but I didn't believe her. Not for a fucking second. Because last night, at 3 a.m., she whispered, he doesn't know. It has to be soon, and now she was acting like none of this was a big deal. I had to get out of the house, clear my head, think. So I made an excuse. I need to run to the store, I said, standing up. She glanced at the time. So early? I forced a shrug. Yeah, just need a few things. She studied me for a second, then smiled. Okay. I grabbed my keys and left, but I didn't go to the store. I drove, just kept driving. Hands gripping the wheel, my breath shaky. My mind was screaming at me. Was she lying? Was she telling the truth? No fucking way. That wasn't just research, but if she was planning something, what the fuck was I supposed to do? I pulled into a parking lot and sat there for a while, just staring at my hands. Then my phone buzzed, a message from her. Hey, you okay? You seem off today. Oh fuck, she knew I was acting weird. She could tell. I stared at the message, my heart racing. If she was planning something, she'd know. I was onto her now. I had two choices. Act normal. Go home. Pretend I believed her. Or leave. Never go back. But if I ran, what would she do? Would she come after me? Would she try to find me? Would she get mad? Would she do something worse? I had no idea what she was capable of. My phone buzzed again. Babe? Are you mad at me? Oh fuck, I had to go back. I had to act normal. So I took a deep breath, forced my hands to stop shaking, and replied, no, just tired. I'll be home soon. Then, gripping the wheel so tight my knuckles turned white, I turned the car around and drove back to my wife. The whole drive home, my stomach was in knots. My hands felt sweaty against the steering wheel. I kept going over everything in my head, every detail, every word she said. Was she lying? Was she telling the truth? No. No fucking way. She was too calm, too casual, like she was trying to convince me, not just explain, and that whisper. He doesn't know. It has to be soon. I took a deep breath and pulled into the driveway. My heartbeat thudded in my ears. I forced myself to act normal, to breathe steady, to not look like a man who just found out his wife might be planning to kill him. I walked inside. She was waiting in the living room, curled up on the couch. She smiled when she saw me. Hey, you took a while. I forced a small chuckle. Yeah, got caught up. She patted the seat next to her. Come sit. I hesitated. Then, slowly, I walked over and sat down. She leaned against me. My body tensed. She felt warm, soft, normal. But my skin crawled where she touched me. I was thinking, she said, maybe we should go on that trip soon. Just the two of us. Somewhere peaceful. My stomach twisted. That fucking trip. I swallowed hard. Yeah, maybe. She tilted her head up, looking at me. Her eyes were calm, unreadable. Then she said, "You believe me, right?" My throat went dry. What? She smiled slightly. About the searches. About everything. Oh fuck, she was testing me. I forced a laugh. Yeah, of course. Her eyes stayed on me. Too long. Too steady. Then she smiled wider. Good. I tried to breathe normally, but my pulse was racing. She ran her fingers down my arm, slow and soft. I was actually reading more crime stuff. Today. Want to hear something creepy? I swallowed hard. Sure. She leaned in close. Did you know, she whispered, that when people get poisoned, they don't always realize it right away? Sometimes it feels like nothing at first. Just a little dizziness. A little nausea. My body went cold. She smiled. By the time they do realize, it's already too late. I couldn't fucking breathe. I forced myself to smile. That's interesting. She watched me. Then suddenly, she laughed. Oh my God, you should see your face. I blinked. What? She grinned. You looked so freaked out just now. Babe, I was joking. Joking. Joking? I stared at her, my heart still hammering in my chest. She giggled, shaking her head. You're too easy to mess with. I laughed weakly, but my hands were clenched into fists. Was she actually joking, or was she just testing my reaction? I couldn't tell anymore. I was losing my fucking mind. I had to end this. I had to know. So I took a breath and looked her in the eye. Okay, I said. Tell me the truth. She blinked. Huh? I sat up, shaking my head. No bullshit. No jokes, just tell me. Her smile faded. Tell you what? I swallowed. Those searches. What were they really for? A beat of silence. Then, her face changed. The softness disappeared. Her lips curled slightly. Her eyes darkened. And then, in a voice so low it made my skin prickle, she whispered, "Why are you asking so many questions?" Oh fuck! I barely had time to react before she lunged at me. Her hands grabbed my shirt, her nails digging into my skin. She was screaming, her face twisted in rage. I gasped, trying to push her off, but she was stronger than she looked. You think I'm stupid? She shrieked. You think I don't know? What the fuck? I grabbed her wrists, trying to shove her back, but she fought harder, her eyes wild, furious. I had never seen her like this before. She hit me, hard. My head snapped to the side. Pain exploded in my cheek. I barely had time to recover before she hit me again. She was screaming now, her voice raw and broken. You ruined it! You ruined everything! Oh fuck, oh fuck. I twisted, finally managing to shove her off me. She stumbled back, breathing hard, her eyes burning into mine. For a second, we just stared at each other. She was shaking. Her chest rose and fell in rapid breaths. Then, she started laughing. A slow, eerie, broken laugh. Oh, she breathed, wiping her mouth. Oh, babe. I was frozen. She grinned at me, her head tilting. Then she whispered, You shouldn't have seen that search history. I felt a chill run down my spine. She took a slow step forward. I took a step back. She smiled wider, and in that moment, I knew. I was not getting out of this house alive.